is the most difficult Seraph battle for this deck. 15 times 2 is brutal. Maybe. I don't feel like the deck does that much better against the other ones. The first Hell Pact. So Umbra has a lot of X-Cost stuff. I think I'm pretty into that. In fact, we already have 2 Mind Collapses. And we have a solid start for the Reform Rector Flicker. Or the Burnout, sorry, Rector Flicker. How's it going, Rysek? Yeah, we have such a good start. Okay, so this one's looking good. Just call this a win? Maybe not quite yet. Close though. Bernard, thanks very much for the 27 months. Promo show to you too. Hope you're doing well. Is there ever a reason not to take Burnout Rector? If you would be better served taking one of the other ones? I suppose. And no way to Super Kamiguru. If you don't have any apply burnout cards, the Burnout 3 Rector has a very significant drawback for the first couple of circles at least. Those aren't X cost. This is nonsense. What is this nonsense? Harvest can be good? I don't know if I want to go that far, Terry. I don't know. I don't know if I want to say that the Harvest Rector Flicker can be good. Never really seen any evidence of that whatsoever. Heartstone, Strengthstone, Multi-Strike thingy. Lifesteal. I think I'm okay with not spending the money on the Multi-Strike though. I'm just doing that, and we have a solid tank unit. Try to build a second floor around. Honestly, our Rector Flicker is already like pretty solid as well. Just by itself, doesn't really need any support. With Umbra, Harvest will proc every turn. Incredible. Incredible. Again, I don't think that's very good. My disagreement is not with what the words on the card say. It is with whether the thing they do has any relevance to your ability to win the game. Just do that. Could just do that. Play 2 floors. We will end up with 2 different floors that could kill the boss by themselves. Okay, I'm gonna give up on the rector flicker floor maybe. Yep, GG, alright. Oh dear. Draft isn't so bad. I do have one reform card. It's also not particularly good though. In !MT reference, the spreadsheet that I made as a reference document for this game, there is a list of all the artifacts in the game with their pictures. If you want to know what an artifact is, you could open that up and just scroll through and see. It's an easy way to familiarize yourself with them in general so that you know sort of what's in the game. Yeah, Cynic. I don't think I want any of these. Morsel Master, sure. Look, I didn't try to win on that floor. No, wait, Super Kamiguru. I attempted to give up on the Rector Flicker, but the Rector Flicker just wasn't having it. I can imagine there being universes in which the Reform Rector is worse than the Harvest Rector. I guess. I don't know. The thing is, like, I don't know. This creature is very easy to get, and this creature already is like a 600 toughness creature. So, yeah. Burn out 3 Lady of the House. Sure, why not? Big House Lady. I think this is a good creature to put behind the Rector Flicker. Okay, this is the Sera fight where we get 3 1-cost blights, so taking Ember Stasis every time, I think. No. Oh no, it's okay. I can just reform it in a couple of turns probably. Burnout definitely doesn't show up every time. I think it's just the they're all showing up a third of the time for each slot, which means it shows up 45% overall. Warner, how you doing?
Oh.
Nice to see you. Goodbye. Oh. Sabricus, thank you very much for the raid. Sorry, I was just saying hello to Caitlin who just got home. Who are these? Okay. 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 I don't want to like... Okay. Is your hype emote a dog butt? It's incredible. The thing is, like, if it's not, that's a really offensive thing to ask, right? If any of you are looking for a great MTG streamer to check out Zabricus's channel, twitch.tv/Zabricus. We recorded an interview together that's going to go somewhere at some point, right? I don't even know where it's going. Anyway, Zabricus is awesome. Thanks, the Dirkus, for gifting that sub to Zabricus as well. Bomo show to you all. If you don't know me, I'm Jorbs. I'm another F2K streamer. Well, Zabricus is, I think, the most recent, or second most recent, addition to Team F2K as well, so congratulations on that, Zabricus. And we're playing a game called Monster Train. You're coming from Magic the Gathering. This is a, like, card game as well. It has some similarities to, like, playing a draft event for Magic the Gathering, where you're like building your deck out of card choices that are offered to you, but the similarities get less and less very rapidly. How would I give an intro to this game for someone who is familiar with MTG? Huh, I'm not sure I've ever like quite thought about how to do that. What is FTK? FTK is Flame Tongue Kabu. F2K is Fade to Karma. The game is made by a different group of people from Magic the Gathering. Ooh, let's take a Bounty Stalker and start getting this leveled up. I think that's pretty doable. Too bad, I swear Remnant Pack gets offered at the same time as Bounty Stalker like all the time. So this is an example of a way that we're strengthening our deck. We just did a fight, and now at the end of the fight we get offered a card pick. I'm gonna, I think, take Bounty Stalker. It's like it's a creature that can get very strong over the course of a run, even though it's not necessarily super great right at the start. I'm gonna take a Lady of the Reformed too. Make one giant burnout floor. This seems good. And wait, that was the Daedalus fight? Oh my gosh. I didn't even notice I was doing like a boss fight. I think I'm gonna take Light of Seraph. This very large burnout floor that I'm trying to build is buildable. Both rares, that's why? Yeah, they're only like 10 rares for each clan. So the mode of the game is I start with a starter deck. The starter deck has lots of like pretty mediocre cards. These are creatures that have 9 power and 3 health. Not very impressive stats. These are spells that make me a morsel, which is like a little thing that my creatures can eat to give them a bonus. Also not very impressive. These are like your very vanilla creatures that every land combo starts with. Then as you go through the run, you get more and more complicated and intricate cards, and they get stronger and stronger, but also the enemies you're fighting get stronger and stronger. You go through 8 fights, and in between each fights you have this like sort of store phase where you can choose between the 2 different paths and try your best to upgrade your deck. And then at the end there's like a super boss fight, and hopefully you win. Hopefully. It's the first time you've seen me pick up Light of Seraph. Yeah, so you don't need Ember nearly as much with Melting Remnant. There are 5 different clans in this game, and we play 2 of them each time, basically, where you have the Melting Remnant as our main clan, which means we have its champion as sort of like the strongest card in our deck, at least at the start. And then we have Umbra as the allied clan. And Melting Remnant has like just a bunch of 0-cost stuff, so you don't really need Ember with it nearly as much. And then with Umbra, we also have some 0-cost stuff. We have X-cost stuff, but we have this relic which gives our X-cost cards +3 Ember. So we don't really need Ember all that much, and then it becomes between card draw and space. And card draw is pretty good. Card draw is pretty good. Maybe I should have just taken card draw, but it seemed like I could really benefit from 2 floors with 6 space. I just already have big reasons to care about that. So that's why I ended up making that decision. Let's remove 2 cards and get an artifact and stuff. There's no narrator as far as you're aware. Ooh, whenever you play a unit, a random card in your hand is reduced to 0 cost for the turn. I think I take this. There's another reason to not need Ember all that much. There's definitely the flavor text on the cards has some sort of narrator point of view. I don't know who the narrator is though. Is it Seraph? Is Seraph the narrator? Someone's writing that stuff. It's either Seraph or like Deckard Cain. I could totally see it being Deckard Cain. Get to the rogue camp immediately. It's Herzl? Who is Herzl? Is that like a different name for Deckard Cain? Okay, so then in fights, it's like a tower defense, so we're getting even further away from Magic the Gathering, I guess. But enemies come in on the bottom floor, we put our units on one of the 3 floors for units, and then if the enemies like attack us, we attack them, and then they move up to the next floor. And if they get all the way to the top, this is sort of like our health. We have 90 health left, and they'll fight this until they're dead, and it deals 30 AoE damage back to them, so trying to stop them from killing us. You've been reading the flavor text by pausing the vids for a few weeks now, and you still barely understand the narrative conceit of the game. Some of the angels are bad too, and a bunch of them are fallen angels, maybe. Could be. I'm the sort of person who can maybe remember what the game's name is. And we're not really gonna make many strides in making me someone who cares about the game lore. I'm not really feeling. It's not really what I care about in games. Game is called Monster Train. Some stay dry, and others feel the pain. Steve's operating system rejects information that does not contribute to the evaluation function. Yep, there's only so much space in my brain. Every time that I learn something new about a game already, I have to forget the name of one of my viewers. And, you know, I do care about you a little bit, so it makes me a bit sad when that happens. Can I forget you next? Sorry, who said that? Hey, Jelry, how you doing? I tried getting a brain controller to organize information. Is that like a personal assistant? What is a brain controller? I'm picturing one of the people who like helps planes land with the flags, you know? Is that what I need? Maybe that's what I need. Well, it doesn't look like we're winning on the bottom floor this time around. I don't know if I want to keep these or not. When I play them, they deal 100 damage to the front enemy unit because of our relic, right? So they cost 3 by default, but whenever I hit them with Flicker's Liquor, they go down to costing 0, which means they're pretty decent cards. I have 3 of them in my deck right now. I don't know. Really, I don't know. How high is my success rate in streams? What is a success rate in streams? Does that mean my win rate in the game? I don't know. I don't bother tracking it. If you mean how successful I am at having a great time, like 50-50. Depends how grumpy Twitch chat is that day. Vapor funnel. Apply daze to enemy units when they enter the pyre room. Your pyre gets -5 attack. Every stream is a success. You know, it's funny. I used to play poker professionally, right? And sometimes I'd come home from a day at work. Well, I played online, so I would close down the windows on my computer that were part of my day of work. And I'd be like, oh, cool, I lost $5,000 after working for 8 hours. That's cool. And one nice thing about streaming is I don't think I've ever had a day of streaming where I like had $5,000 less at the end. I'm pretty sure that at least has not happened to me. Let's go reform a unit, take another one of these, try to get the bounty stalker leveling up better. Actually sort of like Crucible extension here. The thing is, I have that one really big burnout floor with a lot of toughness, and I also have a lifesteal floor with a lot of toughness. And I have a bounty stalker who's eventually going to have a lot of attack, and it would be nice to deploy the bounty stalker on the bottom floor, have it die, reform it, put it on the middle floor, have it die, reform it, put it on the top floor. This is a way to kill Sera. But currently the middle floor doesn't have enough space for it. You can put it on the top floor, but the middle floor doesn't have enough space. So I took Crucible extension, and I also played my, what's it called? I don't remember what it's called. My space prism on my middle floor. Then I'd have enough space to play bounty stalker behind the other stuff when it was time to do that. And I could give Frozen to one of the reform things to make sure that I was actually able to pull that off. I think I like it. Fancy giving you $5,000. Probably not. Hey, soldier token. When am I going to donate 1,000 subs? Well, if I donate 1,000 subs to my channel, I do get a significant portion of that back again. So it would have to be like more in the 2,000 to 3,000 range without doing the exact math right now. The thing about doing the professional poker thing for a few months is that you start looking at everything in terms of buy-ins. Yeah, the way I countered that mentally was I thought about every single thing as the cost of a dinner. So like, if you win $200 one day, that's like, all right, cool, I got a sweet dinner out of this day. And if you lost like $200, it's like, oh, whatever, I lost the cost of a dinner. And if you won $20, it's like, okay, I won a dinner and it's less impressive. You win like $5,000, I won the most sweet dinner ever. But I just thought about it in dinner instead of like buy-ins or dollars, and for some reason it helped my brain handle it. I never actually spent $5,000 on a dinner, but dinner is one of those things where you want to. You can basically spend any amount of money on dinner. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying go do that, but dinner is a thing in your life which you can eat ramen, and I absolutely have had ramen for dinner for like 25 cents. You can have like fast food for 10 bucks. You can sit down at a restaurant for 30 bucks. You can add some drinks to your meal at that restaurant. You're getting up in the 50 range. And like you can just go from there, like fancier drinks, fancier restaurant, more courses, buy food for more friends. If I gave you $5,000 and told you you had to spend it on one dinner, I feel like you might have to try a little bit, but it wouldn't be that hard. Whereas if you had to spend it on like one, I don't know, water bottle, I don't know, it would be harder to do that. You worked at a high-end steakhouse when you were younger. It can get really expensive if you want. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I don't really want this power stone for anything, I don't think. What about this? Okay. Well, I'm gonna roll first. See what the big upgrade is. Yeah, this is a bigger deal. Okay. Let's check out the event before we decide which cards we're removing. Okay. Well then. I'll just take +1 capacity on each floor, I think. You think you can include travel money if you spend $5,000 on a dinner? Yeah, absolutely. Like fly to New York to eat at the nicest steakhouse in Manhattan or something. I don't know. I think my record is probably in the $200 or $300 range for dinner. And that isn't just my meal, that's like paying for a couple of friends as well at a nice steakhouse sort of thing. But it's not hard for me to imagine how I'd make that number higher. Have I been able to imply anything from poker to retirement investing? Yes, but not in ways that I want to talk about right now. Not in ways which are illegal either. Just like, yeah. Alright. You've gone to a Michelin-starred hot dog stand. Was it a really good hot dog? I bet it was. Alright, so we're doing this. 2080, quite enough. If I throw this here, we kill that. But I don't get the collector, unfortunately. There's no extra gold. Why is seafood so expensive? I think it depends on the seafood, right? You can get quite affordable seafood. Also probably depends a little bit where you live. I have to like do all this math every single turn to try to work out if there's solid reason to put a dreg in between any of the units. It's too much thinking. Get your seafood from the nearest gas station. Good advice. Wait, bad advice? It's either good or bad advice. Hard to say. Oh, for fuck's sake, I had to put that behind. Ah! Thorns make everything so complicated. Here, let's put this there. And that solves that problem for us. What is the win condition on this run? Power of Love. Hell, sorry. Not love. Easily confusable. Hog. This is sort of a perfect moment for this calcified ember. Nice. Yeah, this one could certainly do some okay stuff for us in terms of winning the run. It's Bounty Stalker here. GG. Mind collapse cannot target your own units. How's it going, Kangaroula? Hey, thy empty lord. Can I show you my spreadsheet? You can show yourself my spreadsheet. With exclamation mark MT reference. Keep getting offered Crushing Demise. This is the second time now. And I keep on not being sure whether I want it or not. Sure. Let's take one. Starting to have a... Ooh. Maybe that's better. Do I want card draw though? I have to be able to play a creature to make it cost 0. Make it happen, I think. Don't just go up to a stranger and ask to see their spreadsheet. It depends what sort of community you're in. There are places where that's appropriate, believe it or not. I think I may actually just take Honest here. How much do I care about A little bit more pyre attack with vapor funnel, maybe. It's not atrocious. Just take Gift of Gratitude with the plus Ember on X cards. What's the sexiest spreadsheet I've ever seen? Never enhance a unit with burnout, right? None of the cards do that, they just apply burnout. Nice haircut. Thank you. I remember the last time I cut my hair. I ever play competitive MTG. I was number 1 on Magic Online. And constructed a few times. But I only made it to number 3 in Limited. And I didn't really play a ton of like IRL competitive stuff. It just wasn't really my jam. Because I didn't edit that thing properly yet, Manugu. The sun is up, you know what that means? Time to set fireworks off. Happy 4th of July, let's upset all of the dogs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm generally sympathetic toward people wanting to celebrate something in the world, but I do quite like dogs. Anything in particular to do with this? I don't think so. Yeah, definitely don't be spreading germs if you're out and about celebrating tonight, please. Please! We'd all appreciate it. Who was it who discovered germ theory? Some doctor in like the 1800s or something, right? Don't remember his name. Dr. Germs. They call me Dr. Germs. Good morning. How are you? I'm Dr. Germs. Could be it. Where we get the word pasteurized from. That's so cool. Alright. Maybe now I will remember that. Probably not, though. But maybe. Probably not, though. Gain 108. Oh my. That was legitimately pretty good. Alright. He also injected a kid with liters of rabies to cure him of rabies. Which part of germ theory is that? I'm sorry. Whoa, hold on. It seems imbalanced. Have the devs like released a comment on that? Oh yeah, I deal 30 damage when something with consume gets played. That has so much weird stuff going on. Okay. And 95, 40, 40. Bit of an interesting decision to make. Put this here, can put it here, can put it on a different floor. Put it here, I think. Wish I was a corgi. Thanks for the 4 months. And Musho to you as well. When I was doing online poker, how often did one table become more interesting, difficult, intense, so I had wanted to focus on it because my play at the rest of tables would deteriorate, causing my play at the rest of tables to deteriorate. I mean, typically you can only really focus on one thing at a time, so typically I would focus on the table that was most important to focus on at the moment and not focus on the other stuff. But you get to a point where you can autopilot pretty well. I don't know if there's really a particularly compelling reason to do anything rather than anything else at the moment. I'll do that. I don't know. I guess I can play that here. What up? Wow. This is a lot closer than I was expecting it to be. How many? I have 11 lifesteal, so that's 300 and some damage banked. Oh, it's more like 500 and some damage banked. And then more when we do this. Okay, cool. So we're fine. If I draw Reform again, which I do, I get to level this up again. Do I? I think I might have cost myself 10 attack on that. I didn't really play any sit and goes. Played cash games on Stars back in the day. Hope you enjoyed the game, sub. Why didn't I play sit and goes? Because I wouldn't have made money as fast, I guess. Umbra Stone, Kindle, and Blazing Bolts. Kindle's sort of like a cute idea, but it doesn't really do anything in this deck. Umbra Stone applies rather than enhancing with, so it goes away if we reform a creature. Could go Blazing Bolts. I gotta skip. Definitely wanting card draw now. Definitely. Symbol against Ember Drain Curse. This Sera fight doesn't have Ember Drain. What is Ember Drain Curse? This Sera fight doesn't have any Ember Drains, so I don't have to worry about Ember Drain for this one. Is that a reasonable line to take? With 3 reform cards? I think it might be. I think it might be okay. Let's find out. That's definitely a good hit. BV Gaming, how you doing? How's it going, Cyber Waffle House? Well, this fight has Umber Drain, unfortunately. I think it will be fine. I think I'm actually taking the trial even. Shop without buying the large stone, you think you feel a little sick. Yeah, both of the floors that I'm putting creatures on, I'm using all of the capacity on pretty regularly. And the large stone stats, like the main thing it gives is health, which I don't care very much about. So I don't think that was really particularly close to being meant to be a large stone there. Personally, that is not my feeling. Yeah. He's like, sweet, thanks very much for the 8 months. I'm going to show to you as well. Why is it Monster Train and not Demon or Devil Train? I don't know if there's any, like, clear reason that it has to be that. It was probably just that the people in charge of choosing the name thought that it sounded better. Would be my best guess. Yeah, maybe monster is a little bit less of a bad sounding word. I don't know if that's quite the right way to say it, but maybe. I should probably have played this first. Or should have I? Or should I have? Or should have I? That's probably like technically, grammatically correct, right? Technically correct, my favorite type of correct. Okay. You're losing 10 health because it has spikes 5. Just got your wisdom teeth out. You're so happy to see me while you recover. Thanks for the 17 months, Sad Star. I'm going to show to you as well. I hope that the recovery is swift. Definitely wisdom teeth are, yeah, not a ton of fun. I mean, sometimes having them is not a ton of fun, and having them removed is certainly also not a ton of fun. Hope that you're doing okay. Having a swift recovery. Do I want to keep this alive, or would I rather just reform it? I'll try to keep it alive for right now, I think. And Trina, thanks very much for the 19 months. I'm going to show to you as well. Wisdom in general is not fun. Who said that? Was that Socrates? You have to deal with teeth, it's generally not fun. I can't think of many times in my life where teeth have mattered in a way that is enjoyable. I guess chewing food. I guess we shouldn't like take that entirely for granted. Tooth Fairy was so much fun. Was it though? I don't know if it was. Okay. Final wave. Great work so far, team. Why leave hell when it's this fun? Do you think that was delivered with some amount of sarcasm? I feel like it might have been. Okay. Are we talking about the real Tooth Fairy or the fake one? Whoops. I killed it too fast. Who here is familiar with the concept of greed? Sure. Still killed it too fast. Subsuming Blade, finally. Been waiting so long. What is this bounty stalker up to? 145 times 2? That's pretty good. It does have burnout on it though. I sort of did that to myself. Am I wearing the same shirt 2 days in a row? Yeah, this is the only shirt that I wear now. Is there ever a good use case for Votivary? Some infinites with it. I don't know if that means yes, but there are some infinites with it. Seems like either it doesn't do anything or it goes infinite. Or it does something without going infinite. Like you can, there's definitely a very large space in the middle. Keep in mind that you can upgrade it, so like you can make it into a 30-30 with endless if you want. I don't know if this is really worth 225 gold here. Is this any good? Seems good with morsels. Let's try it. I don't actually have that many morsels. Lame. Okay, that's gonna hit really hard one time. And I think I'll just purge a card. There isn't really a card to purge. Let's buy another relic of some sort. Let's grab an infused mallet, seems fine. Kill some stuff. Duplicate one of these, and we're good to go. I guess these are just like gonna die because our bounty stalker is just killing everything. Alright, good. We need this Lady of the Reform to take some damage. Although... Oh. Maybe... This. Shoot. I really want to play Space Prism here, but it kills that because it's a consume card. Put it there instead. Have I ever spilled ginger beer on my ginger beard? It's less like spilling food and more deliberately saving it for later. There's a slight but important difference. Oof. That seemed pretty good. Have I ever heard the song Prejudice by Tim Minchin? I know Tim Minchin's song White Wine in the Sun, and it's a very happy song for me. But I don't think I know Prejudice. I haven't generally like listened to a ton of his music. Try that out? I believe it, Garbage Boy. This will be a tough fight. We'll run out of spells soon. We're not gonna run out of spells that soon. Don't worry about it. I think the fight will generally be okay. 0 creatures available. Oh. Well, that's awkward. Angry Whisperer. Day's going alright. If I was born in the 1500s, do I think I would be a polymath? It's like a type of shape, right? I think I would be a rectangle. Can I just like put this here and then win? Just abandon this floor entirely? Let's find out. It's not immediately clear to me why not, so... Polymath is someone who studies many different sciences, so person-shaped then? Sort of done? I don't know. Drawing a line with a pencil is a very long rectangle. Is that the sort of thing that a polymath would understand? Someone else might not. Looks a bit like the result of doing this is that we die. Doesn't seem very good. We're at 8 lifesteal up here. May need that number to be higher. Okay. Do I put the Lady of the Reformed in front here? I think maybe I do. I usually get a Wicked Blaze next turn, but not always. There's probably like math you can do at this point. Sounds like a terrible idea. Would a polymath know about math? I don't think I'd be a polymath if I had to know about math. I'd choose to be something else, like a gardener or something. 65 times 12 is 420. 0.69. Alright. Looks like we're basically there already. So I can do this. Deals another... Shoot, I don't even know. Can do this. That deals a lot more than that. Definitely this one over that one. Or we can do this, which deals... Whack, whack, whack. Whack, whack, whack. This deals 410 exactly. This deals more than that. Okay. GG, yeah. Yeah. When we manage to set this up, like, this deals, what? Almost the entirety of Seraph's health by itself, so...